ACDelco does come in right on the white line, and then the car drifts up just about half a lane, and here comes Earnhardt and Mark Martin and Kenny Schrader. Schrader's on a tear. He started way deep in the field. Schrader's come from 24th spot up to battle with this pack.
And Rusty Wallace has moved all the way up in the top 5 now, so he's letting her all go. Like you said, there's no reason to hold back now.
He knows he's going to have to go up, and if he can, lead the race and get the extra 5 points. So he's going to be doing all he can do. And he's going to have to win the championship.
All right, we're watching from Derek Cope's rear bumper. And now from Mark Martin, with Earnhardt just ahead as they lap past Bobby Hamilton. Earnhardt keeps working that bottom.
You know, Dick Brooks is getting a taste of car owner now since Bobby's tore up 2 cars.
Yeah, he had a walletectomy, I think.
The boys had to work all night to get that car ready to go back in today.
Right now, what this graphic in the upper left shows you is Rusty Wallace in this position is 13 points ahead of Earnhardt on the day. As the race leader gets into traffic, 3 wide as Steve Grissom comes sliding through the front stretch grass and gets it squared away. There's his car down on the apron. He's going to get going again.
It don't look like there'll be a caution. He's refired and start going away now. He'll have to come in and get him some tires and get back in the fray here.
Die-hard batteries on the Gary Bechtel car this weekend, and it's rumored that's where Buddy Parrott may be headed next year as he leaves the Roger Penske team.
Well, they couldn't have hired anybody any better than Buddy Parrott.
I'll show you what happened to Steve Grissom here.
Whoa, he just got loose coming up off the corner. Now, one good part about this is this grass right here scrubs off a lot, but it don't flat spot your tires like if you were up on the blacktop. So if he refires that thing, he can make it to a caution or whatever.
Well, he come close to messing up the ACDelco sign, didn't he?
Boy, Rick Mast is going through his traffic like a nice through hot butter right at the moment.
Dale Jarrett didn't make the show at Wilkesboro, came right back and won Charlotte, and here he is going a lap down, just 70 laps into this race. Up and down.
He's not a lap down yet. I tell you, when they start calling you, the spotters say, okay, the leader's 2 seconds behind, 1 second behind, and your tongue's out there about halfway to the steering wheel on a race car. I tell you what, it's a frustrating thing this early in the race.
Especially when you know you can't do anything about it like that.
Those are good race cars there. You see Kenny Wallace is leading that pack. That's Michael Waltrip there in the yellow car, and the green and black car there was last week's winner.
Boy, Kenny Schrader is flying. Now, Schrader is 4th in the points. He is just 4 points behind Mark Martin for 3rd. Neither one could win the Winston Cup, but either could be 3rd or perhaps 2nd. And Schrader started 24th, and he has moved up to 7th. And that Kodiak car. Budweiser Red goes on that Rick Hendrick car next year with Schrader. 72 laps complete at the Rock. We'll be right back live on TNN. Pit stops for the leaders will be coming up soon. Now, some of the cars, Greg Sachs and Joe Nemechek most recently, once they've been lapped by leader Rick Mast, have come into the pits for tires. And there you see Nemechek, who came back out right in front of Mast, as did Greg Sachs. But a number of good cars have gone a lap down here. Kenny Wallace, Dale Jarrett, Ted Musgrave have all fallen a lap down to Rick Mast, who has been a rocket these first 50 laps.
There's a good idea what new tires are going to do for you. You see Joe Nemechek right there just going right on by.
Yeah, the guys that pitted, definitely, they're running faster.
Sterling Marlin's moved up into the top 10 in the Morgan McClure Kodak Chevy with that move past Morgan Shepherd. And Billy Standards comes out of the garage and back into the race. Ted Musgrave made a pit stop, and I think there was contact a moment ago between Brett Bodine and Dale Earnhardt. Brett Bodine is weaving a bit in turn 2 to get, may have cut down a tire. Let's show you what happens there.
Boy, he just went in the corner really hard and got up in the side of Earnhardt there with the right rear corner. Both of them were very lucky there, especially Earnhardt. He could have been turned a little more towards the wall and got in trouble big time.
Dale Earnhardt's called in, says the car's okay. Brett Bodine started 5th today, and that's been a bad spot for him to start. At Darlington, lost an engine. Charlotte, he crashed. Darlington 29th and Dover 26th, all starting from 5th position. This is a scheduled stop for Rusty Wallace. Randy's there.
Well, they're calling for 4 tires and go ahead and crank in around a wedge. This team has been consistent all year long on pit stop, and it's probably due to one man. He's the jack man, Scout Robinson. This car goes nowhere until the jack is dropped after 4 tires. Absolute one pump up. Buddy Parrott puts the left front on for Billy Wilburn. Right rear is done, or left rear is done. 18.7 for the lefts. He's down and away.
Good stop.
That was a good quick stop. You know, I just wonder how you feel. You know, they had pit crew race yesterday, 18 and 19 seconds, and seen a bunch of lug nuts, which was loose. What do you think about today when they have these 16, 17 seconds? Don't you think the driver thinks about that a little bit?
Maybe just a little. Mark Martin is in. Derek Cope is in. Harry Gant completes his stop. All at lap 84. Tire changes on both. Get that tire out of the way, and Derek Cope pulls out.
You know, you were watching just then, Mike.
Oh, Greg Sachs has taken, and Rick Mast have gone to the wall hard. That's the race leader.
Man, that is. Every once in a while, you just see things you don't even like to look at. That's one of them right there. Rick Mast drove a perfect race there. He was trying to put a lap on Greg Sachs, and they got together somehow. That's tough luck right there.
Lucky break for Kenny Wallace, who was on pit road, and Ward Burton and Darrell Waltrip. They all kept going through and did not stop at their... No, Waltrip did make his stop, excuse me. But Kenny Wallace and Ward Burton drove right on through to stay on the lead lap. Might be a break for Earnhardt because Wallace, with his pit stop, has gone a lap down.
And I would say his crew would like to look at that car. There was a little contact a little while ago. I'm sure they'd like to look at it and just make sure it's as good as he said it is.
We're under caution for the 3rd time today, and it comes right in the middle of green flag pit stops. We'll sort it out for you when we come back. Pit road after stops. Terry Labonte, Jeff Bodine, Jeff Gordon, Ken Schrader, and Morgan Shepherd are the race leaders ahead of Dale Earnhardt, Sterling Marlin, Rick Mast, Bill Elliott, and Ricky Rudd. The 800 number's in operation. Please don't call the racetrack directly. That won't get you through to us, but please use our toll-free 800 number, 1-800-451-7331. A lot of calls on the 800 number about Ricky Rudd. Why is he in the race this week? Wasn't he fined last week? He was fined $10,000 by NASCAR and lost an appeal for an accident with Jeff Gordon late in the race. He was put on probation but was not suspended. So Ricky Rudd is eligible to compete here today. Randy?
Well, I just want to let you know about Ward Burton. He was another one of those guys that was just, matter of fact, he was on pit road when that caution came out, had to go around. So that's where he lost most of his spots. Had a pretty good pit stop, though, when they finally came back. And as far as Jeff Bodine was getting ready to pit when that caution came out, I did check the Hoosier tires on his car. They're worn, but they're not too bad. The left front is probably the worst of the lot, and it was still okay.
Thanks, Randy. We're getting set to go back to green. Now, these cars in front of Terry Labonte, Rusty Wallace, and Mark Martin are on the tail end of the lead lap. They did not pit during the caution. They stayed out and pulled right up to the pace car, but of course we're not able to go around the pace car.
Mike, you're really going to have to get on the gas now. This is real important not to get that lap down and hope for another caution to bring them up on the lead lap. But you got some fast race cars right behind them. They're going to really have to get after it.
Derek Cope being black flag, we're told, for the restart. Jeff Bodine takes the lead back from Terry Labonte. And Jeff Gordon follows through.
You know, David, they have new surface here, but it looks like this. Oh, no, we got smoke out of Jeff Bodine's car going into turn 1.
Looks like everybody's going to get by him on the high side. Bodine gets down to the track apron and off the speedway. No caution, apparently no fluid leakage.
I think he's going to the garage here. He blowed up.
Jeff Bodine out of the race.
Boy, oh boy.
Will stay green.
Jeff Gordon's car is hooked up super well right now. These guys just in front of him, they got to go as hard as they possibly can. I don't mean to be redundant, but this race car of Jeff Gordon's has been super fast all week long. And you see right behind there, coming into the frames there, Kenny Schrader's moved up into the fight too. He's now running 3rd.
Mark Martin underneath Rusty Wallace. Completes the pass. He's now the lead car of the pack. Well, you don't want to lead this race. Rick Mast led the race, got in a wreck. Jeff Bodine leads the race and blows up. Bad place to be.
You see Kenny Schrader moving into second place there. It's been a long time since he's won a race, and nobody's trying any harder than Kenny Schrader to end this year up with a victory.
Fourth in the points, just 4 back of Mark Martin. Morgan Shepherd skated way up the racetrack there. And I thought he was headed for Ellerby.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, that was a little more than a little loose there. If you was in that car, you'd have been hollering about like he was.
You know who the happiest guy in the place is right now? Rick Hendrick. His cars are running 1, 2, 3.
Well, if you knew the operation there, that is one of the better race teams in the whole country with Rick Hendrick stuff. And, that don't surprise me any. They're great race cars.
Jeff Gordon, Terry Labonte, Ken Schrader. All those cars are owned by the Charlotte, North Carolina car dealer.
That's amazing. There's a lot of car owners own cars for years and don't ever even get up the front. Just one car.
Right.
He's got all 3 of them there.
You know, Earnhardt, I don't know how they build this race car, but that's got to be one of the toughest race cars that's ever been put on the racetrack. Dale Earnhardt's good, but that race car continues to go on after major damage week after week. I've seen that car where most people would have to park them. It keeps going.
Well, do you know who's finished the most races in a row? It's not Earnhardt, but I'll tell you when we come back.